What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, as we all know, despite the polling that seemed to indicate an eventual and inevitable Kamala Howard, excuse me, Kamala, I'm looking at my title, Kamala Harris victory. Despite polling that seemed to indicate an inevitable Kamala Harris victory, for the third election cycle in a row, polling was way off in estimating, and in these situations, they underestimated Donald Trump's core support. And not only has he won an electoral college victory, but it appears that for the first time in 20 years, a Republican presidential candidate will win the popular vote. Now, we can sit here and debate why he won, or more importantly, I guess, to her supporters, why she lost. But the thing that really bothers me was her cowardice last night. Okay? This is why I felt like a lot of us have felt that she wasn't suited for the presidency. Her temperament was not suited for the presidency. Hillary Clinton did this 8 years ago, where it was reported that she was inconsolable, crying profusely when she lost on election night. I don't think she addressed her supporters until, what was it, either late the next day or early Thursday. I remember saying correctly. But if you looked at that crowd was expecting, her supporters were expecting a celebration, jubilation. But as the returns came in, it became more and more likely that Kamala Harris was going to lose, that she was not going to, their candidate was not going to succeed in becoming the first female president. And to see the women in that crowd, in particular the black women, on the verge of tears, some of them crying, and to have their campaign spokesman come out and tell them to go home. Many of them probably traveled hundreds of miles to Howard University to hear her speak. And this is the thing, I don't want to hear nothing about, well, she lost. That's, so what? So what? You know how many people have lost? Every election, there's a loser. And it hurts. It hurts. I remember in 2004, the exit poll that had John Kerry beating George W. Bush. But it was wrong. And Kerry lost. You don't think it hurt him? You don't think it hurt John McCain and Mitt Romney to speak? You got to do it. Your supporters deserve that. Most of those people have worked months, some of them over a year on your campaign, going door to door, knocking on doors, getting people signed up. A lot of her surrogates, they were doing it because it was a labor of love. They weren't getting compensated for it. They believed in her cause, no matter how wrong I think it was. But those people deserve to see you last night. And for you, your cowardice, because you can't take that L, because you don't want to face the moment. You pull a hissy fit and cancel it. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, you know, it was just, what do you expect? No, because then what you're itching to say, What you're itching to say to me? Well, she's a woman. Oh, well, we can't play that. No. Because then what you're insinuating is that she doesn't have the temperament to be president. Because if she can't handle that moment, how in the fuck can she handle being president of the United States? But she has a history of doing that, doesn't she? She got a history of canceling interviews. She got a history of bristling at any challenge that's really levied at her. When the pressure gets hot, you know what I'm saying? She don't want any part of that. Everything got to be carefully controlled. Everything has to be put in a situation where she has an advantage, where everything is favorable for her. You know what I mean? But this was a terrible loss, man. And there are so many different factors involved as to why her and the Democratic Party were repudiated last night. A lot of it has to do. Oh, by the way, let me say this before I forget. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of Kamala Harris supporters who are going to be blaming black men. I already seen people wishing death on black men who voted for Trump or who didn't vote at all or who voted third party. I see people, you know what I'm saying, and not just black women, just throwing black men on the bus. This is what people got to look at. You see all that exit polling that's showing in certain states Trump winning Hispanics and Latinos, right? So you got to ask yourself a question. What did all of these illegals that got all of these tangibles, right? Free hotel room, and food, and cash, vouchers, $1,000 vouchers. You know, how did they vote? Because apparently, according to exit polling, they voted for Trump. So you tried to buy these people. You tried to buy their votes, and it didn't work. And then the group that's begging for you to listen to us and to respect us, you don't respect us. And then many of us either didn't vote, or like myself, voted third party, and some voted for Trump out of anger. Not necessarily they voted for Trump, but they just voted against Kamala and the Democratic Party. Because this is an election where I would say this was the election of the angry male. In particular, you could say the angry black male, but the angry male, period. A lot of us were angry. We were telling you this. And instead of listening to us and conceding that, hey, maybe we have something to talk about. Nope. You brought Barack Obama out and had him lecture down to us, talk down to us, and lecture us and wag his finger at us like we some kids. You had Michelle Obama do the same thing, a little bit more obliquely, but she did the same thing. Every day in the media, I keep seeing a new black man being accused of something where his white counterparts don't get the same smoke. I wonder if there's going to be 1,000 videos about Conor McGregor. We'll see. Well, that culminated in a silent movement. Now, look, the vast overall majority of black people voted for Kamala Harris. But I just heard, not only did Trump do the best with black males of any president since Richard Nixon in 1960, but apparently, according to exit polling, Kamala Harris, although she performed well with black women, did worse with black women than Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden ever did. So black women need to get mad at other black women because some of them didn't come out. Not in the numbers they would expected. And she got swept in all 7 swing states, and most of them weren't even close. So this nail biter of election that was expected didn't materialize. So this was a complete and total repudiation of Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party and their way out loony, wacky agenda. But once again, I feel for the supporters, man. They had to leave. They went all the way there to hear their candidate speak, win or lose. And in a moment where they needed consoling from their supposed leader, she left them lurching in the wind. That's fucked up, man. So she's not a leader. She's not a leader at all. She showed her true colors last night. I'm sorry. You may not like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. She showed her true colors. Man, that's all I got to say about it.